CIMCON'26. Today we discuss the sector which is currently please settle down first.
No, it's okay. People want to come, let them come.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to explore a sector which is undergoing a massive transformation. That is media and entertainment industry in India. Welcome to today's special session of CIMCON'26. मैं एक एग्जाम्पल से स्टार्ट करता हूँ. पहले आप लोग ने देखा होगा कि आप टेक्नोलॉजी को फॉलो करते थे. नाउ डेज ऐसे कि टेक्नोलॉजी आपको फॉलो करती है. पहले आप एंटरटेनमेंट को फॉलो करते थे, अब एंटरटेनमेंट आपको फॉलो करता है. धीरे धीरे सब चेंज हो गया है. दिस इज व्हाट वी एग्जैक्टली मीन बाय 10x potential. We are not just adding the new features in our life, we are continuously multiplying what is easily possible for us. India's media and entertainment sector is no longer just about storytelling, it is about the experience. The virtual production development, AI-driven content, 5G technology, all are the silent director behind the scenes. Today we dive deep into the present and future of technology in media and entertainment sector to understand how these innovations are scaling India content by 10x speed. Similarly, we'll learn how we can adopt the implementation of technology in our businesses for getting 10x growth. For this, I have absolute honor to introduce a visionary who is building the future of India in media and entertainment industry, not only in India but across the world. Mr. Chaitanya Chinchlikar, sir. Chaitanya sir is the Vice President and Chief Technology Officer at Whistling International, Mumbai. Whistling International Institute was founded in 2006 by filmmaker Suraj Ghai. It is an India's premier film, communication and creative art institute, ranked among the top 10 institutes in the world. With over 2 decades of experience, he has been a pioneer in bringing future tech like virtual production, AI and extended reality into the heart of mainstream education. He also worked in establishing several technological development labs, did partnership with media and entertainment giants like Sony, Apple, Google, Intel, Reliance Jio and many more. जब मैंने सर से फर्स्ट टाइम फ़ोन पे बात किया तो सर ने एक चीज़ मुझे बताया, मुझे वो जान के बहुत प्राउड फील हुआ और वो चीज़ मैं जब आपको बताने वाला हूँ आपको भी बहुत प्राउड फील होगा. सर is the first Indian educator to be invited to join the Oscar body as a jury member. The name of the Oscar body is Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Science. This is one of the biggest achievements. Also, he is the member of the Global Board of Governor of SMPT, stands for Society of Motion Pictures and Television Engineers. Was awarded the prestigious 70 Excellence Award in Education Medal in 2024. Back home, he serves as the CEO of India's National Center of Excellence for ABCC XR, an initiative by Government of India to positioning our country as a global leader in animation and gaming. He is the founder member in the Governing Council of Indian Institute of Creative Technology. He did a lot of hard work in building India's mission from last 20 years. His results are showing impact in this sector. In recent budget, just 20 days back, given by Finance Minister, the Government of India proposed to setting up AVGC XR Content Creator Lab in 15,000 secondary schools in India and 5,000 colleges. This is only possible because of sir's hard work. Congratulations, sir. Please join me in welcoming a true pioneer of visual effect and media industry, Chaitanya sir. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया. नहीं, प्रेशर आता है ना. So hello everybody. I'm going to take you through some of the examples that we have seen in the Indian media and entertainment industry and how the industry is essentially being built on top of tech and how it has grown over the last 25, 30 years and where it's likely to go in the future, right? At any point, so let me confess, I have a bad reputation of putting a lot of data on my slides. So apologies in advance, but I need that as data backup support in order to make my point. So feel free to, at some point, if you kind of am going too fast or whatever, just tell me, sir, go back, whatever. Okay? Anytime, feel free to ask questions. You don't have to wait till the end. I'm okay with being interrupted. I've been, married for many years and I have 2 teenage kids. So interruption is part of my life. Anyway, so let's look at how technology has enabled exponential growth in the Indian media and entertainment industry. And what can we all learn from it? What we have learned from it, what are we doing about it? There is some tech jargon in there, which if you don't understand, it's fine, it's okay. I put it there to confuse you and try to show how cool I am. It doesn't matter, right? The other thing is technology is not difficult. So Niket spoke about what we've done in the field of tech. What he didn't mention, which I didn't also tell him purposely, is by education I'm a chartered accountant, unfortunately. I started my career with Arthur Andersen, which is now known as Accenture, and I was good at it, but I wasn't really enjoying it. So I moved out, and then I joined the media and entertainment industry and media and entertainment education, and then technology, and so so on and so forth. So it's not that hard. If I can understand it, anybody can understand it, right? So let's go. So the most important thing we have to understand, look at tech, is the real power doesn't lie in just adopting it, but actually using it as a strategic stepping stone to enable growth, right? And we will come to AI at the end of it, but AI is a glaring example right now. Everybody wants to do AI just for AI's sake, without knowing, understanding, is it applicable to your business? How is it applicable to your industry? What do you do with it? How do you, to put it in real and crude language, how do you make AI serve you rather than you serving AI? वो नौकर है, उसको नौकर बना के रखो, उसको मालिक बना के सर पे मत चढ़ाओ, right? वो बहुत होता है. It happens a lot, and it happens with all kinds of tech. Sorry, this thing is making noise. So let's go. So first things first is technology has got nothing to do with any activity in particular. So there are no activities, ये technical activity है, ये creative activity है, business activity है. It is omnipresent. As much potential as it has, it is omnipresent, right? So in our industry, we say every artist is a technician, every technician is an artist, and they both understand the business. Companies which have this setup, they're the ones that do well. The other thing is, this is your standard pyramid. You have executors, managers, creative managers, ideators. I'm not talking of designations or ranks. I'm talking at karte kya hai? What do they do? Right? Now, oddly, as you move up the value chain, technology both becomes more important and less important. It becomes more important because you need more and more and tech and data and fact-based information in order to make your decisions as you move up the value chain. When you are an executor, you have an SOP, you have to execute it. If you are able to bring ingenuity in execution, you're good, right? You're better. If you're able to add some tech into it, make one workflow easier, you've added value. As you move up and you're at the ideator stage, you have to use data, you have to use all that to make decisions. And oftentimes the most effective ideators are the ones who ignore all the data and go by their gut. So technology both becomes more important and less important. Right? I know it sounds a little weird, but that's really how it works. The other thing that we have to understand in technology is there isn't one thing. Technology actually exists in two worlds. It exists in the world of atoms and it exists in the world of bits. Before the electron was invented, all technology existed only in the world of atoms. Because everything was analog, everything was mechanical, everything was physical, everything needed to move. You needed elements, you need materials to do any tech that existed. After the discovery of the electron, there's a whole world that's built on top of electronics. And then after the discovery of the binary system, you had a whole world that was built on top of the world of bits. In the last 30 years, there has been exponential growth in the world of bits, but actually very little evolution in the world of atoms. That has now started to come in with full FSD, with full self-driving cars, with Optimus and all the Autobots that you see, with UAVs, with Autobots that essentially are able to. So any tech stack that you think of, always go down to first principles. Does this tech stack exist in the world of atoms, which is being served by the world of bits? Or does it exist in the world of bits and is being served by the world of atoms? Amazon.com exists in the world of bits and it's being served by the world of atoms, by real people, cars doing delivery. That's the business, right? Whereas if you look at restaurants is exactly the opposite. It's the world of atoms, it's the real world, which is being served by the world of bits, which is your Zomatos and Swiggies and all that, right? So anytime you look at your business, try to go down to these two first principles and see where does your business sit, and hence where does the technological evolution need to come in. I mean, if you're running a plumber service, do you really need AI? Or where do you need AI? Right? Do you need it to analyze the data so that you have enough plumbers on roster in case a big building order comes in? That's similar to just-in-time delivery. So how do you go down to first principles of tech and see which of these two worlds your company exists in? Right, so this is very, very important to understand, first principles. Everything boils down to first principles. Chal kyun nahi raha? Okay, so now let's start to look at the media and entertainment industry. Where we exist, this is where we sit. Right, so like I mentioned, every artist is a technician, every technician is an artist, and they both understand the business. That is how our industry works. Our creative head of any company is also the sales head. He's the closer or she's the closer, right? So Devendra Deshpande was there. Oh, sorry, different room. So the CEO of Friday Film Works will also need the creative head, which is Neeraj Pandey, to go and close a deal with Netflix. So it's very, very important that they understand this, right? M&E industry, just to give you a sense of how big it is, right? So it includes cinema, TV, OTT, digital content, music, animation, video gaming, theatre arts, print, advertising, journalism, events, sports, and esports. It's a massive industry. In volume terms, it's huge. In value terms, it's getting there, right? India is blessed with population. The Indian media and entertainment industry, if you were to compare it, we are the Parle G of the world. High volume, low value. We are not the Oreo, or we are not the Cadbury Dark Fantasy, which is high value, low volume. So all business models, all tech that gets deployed towards that. Which is why we achieve scale before we achieve quality always, because scale is what we need. JioStar needs to be able to cater to 40 million parallel streams. Even if the 4K stream of the IPL is a little blurred here and there, their focus is scale. Right? So that's the country we are in. So we need to understand that. Now, over the last 50 years, we've grown from a primarily analog to a significantly digital powerhouse. And a lot of that has happened through tech, and I'm going to give you 3 or 4 examples of 3 or 4 industries within that, right? So, I mean, thankfully, most of you are old enough to remember a time where you had a physical projection happening in cinemas, right? Where you had reels, and then there was a physical projector, the light being passed in, and you're watching it at 24 frames per second. And persistence of vision was giving you the sight of motion. right? From there today we've come to wide screens, we've come to digital projection, we've come to surround sound. You also have those stupid theaters now where you sit in a seat and it does all that, right? And then they sell it as 5D and all that nonsense. So the fourth dimension is time. Length, breadth, depth, time. So unless a cinema is sending you back and forth through time, all this 4D and all is nonsense. But if you try and explain that to the theater manager, he will not understand it, so ignore. Right? Anyway, back to this. So we're a $3 trillion market. We're expected to get to about 4 trillion by 2030, 31. Right? So we're looking at a significant growth over the next few years. Now, where is this? Oh, wait, good. So let's look at emerging tech. How do technologies emerge? All technologies go through the hype cycle. All technologies that existed. None of these stages are good or bad. It's just what it is. Yeah. Don't look at it as this is abhi acha hai, abhi bura phase hai. Ye phase hai. So you have innovation trigger. Then you have the peak of inflated expectations, where everybody says that this is going to solve it. This is it. Right? Few years ago it was something else. Now it's AI. Okay, but AI is going to cure cancer. Right? वो कभी होता नहीं है, but that's the standard hype cycle. Then when people realize that actually इतना नहीं है, ठीक है, it's good, then you hit the trough of disillusionment. Then you get on to slope of enlightenment to the plateau of productivity. Your goal, all of our goal, is to have the technology on the plateau of productivity as quickly and as painlessly as possible. But everything will go through this hype cycle. Right? So there's a global media and entertainment, there's a global research agency called Gartner. So you can subscribe to it, it's available online. So every year they come up with a Gartner hype cycle for emerging tech. So this is the hype cycle as of August 2025. Right? Now if you look at it, you'll see a lot of, if you look at the key at the bottom, so there's plus 10 years, plus 5 to 10, 2 to 5 and under 2 years, right? So cognitive offloading is just at the innovation trigger, adaptive experiences, meta computing, humanoid working robots. Right? So they're estimating this as 10 plus years out. But if Elon Musk has anything to say, it will not be 10 plus years. It will be 3 years or so. Right? So different technologies are existing right now at the innovation trigger and the peak of inflated expectations. I mean, there are a few technologies here, but I've deleted those because I just want to focus on understanding this. So look at peak right now is AI agents. Everybody's talking about agentic AI. Right? So it's at the peak of inflated expectations. So don't go by the hype. It will cool down. Right? The best time to adopt a technology, unless you're us, so we are an academic institution. We adopt tech when it hits here. And then because we've gone through it, we ride it. When it's hyped, we don't buy into the hype, and then when everybody gives up on it, we don't buy into the despair as well, because we've been doing this for 20 years now. The best time to adopt a tech is when it's just coming out of the trough of disillusionment, because it's always the cheapest to deploy then. It's cheapest to deploy, you have enough people who have expertise in it, because they bought into the tech when it was here. They're all available for you to use, and they're all available really cheap. Sorry to be so crude, but it is what it is. Right? Now, every year you will see this, and every year Gartner does this for multiple industries. There's also one hype cycle just for AI, and I'll show it to you when we talk about AI. Right? Okay, so I'm just a snapshot of technology in the media and entertainment industry. If you don't understand some of the jargon, it's okay. I'll explain to you. It's very simple. So we are shooting video content acquisition at 8K, 6K and 4K. Right? we're doing 4K post workflows. So all the post production is happening in 4K. At one end, we're doing mobile filmmaking and script to screen in a room. So you have this vast group of creators who are shooting their content on a cell phone, going into a room and finishing the piece and uploading it on YouTube or wherever. That's the creator economy. So at one end, you have 6K, 8K, 4K, massive. The other end, you have script to screen in a room. So let me give you a statistical visualization. So the mean quality of the media and entertainment technology is going up, but the standard deviation is also going up. Right? So the standard deviation from the mean is also very high. So it's a good thing because there is no one tech. See, once upon a time, there was just cinema and there was just film. That was it. Now it's not like that. So understand that and learn that, right? So there's virtual production, ignore the two phrases that are written after that, ignore it. Right? It's two kinds of virtual production, it's fine. There's heavy integration of visual effects in film. You see it, everybody's seen RRR, everybody's seen Stree 2, Bhedia, all that, KGF. There's immersive design. So a lot of it is now being done in 3 dimensions. Painting, art, world building, etc., 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 etc. There's a lot happening in cinematic VR and VR live streaming, right? You can watch the IPL in VR if you want to. Right? There is a stream available on Jio where you can actually watch the IPL in VR. Very few people are watching it, but it's available. A lot of 3D printing integration has started to happen, right? Especially in prototyping, especially in molds, especially in camera grips, because everybody has a different size hand. The camera grip is standard. If I want to modify the grip, I just 3D print it and use it. And usually what happens historically has been made for men, but there are more and more and more and more females that are entering the industry, especially in fields like cinematography, etc., etc. And the older cameras still have the male grip size. So oftentimes we have a lot of our alumni who actually come back and say, sir, मुझको 3D print करना है because वो बहुत बड़ा है. It's not wrapping. So they actually have a smaller grip, right? So that's happening, and then there's a lot of AI usage. And then the industry is innovating. There's AI for film, media and entertainment, obviously. We're also starting to build out our own AI models, right? So going one level below in the tech stack. And then there's integrated immersive workflows. Okay, so again, sorry, too much data. So we've gone from $15 billion mark in the mid 1990s to $42 billion in 2019. And remember, the dollar has also doubled, more than doubled. In fact, almost tripled. So industry has really grown. Much more than 10x. 2025, the recovery has happened post-COVID, and we are at 33 billion now with again a higher dollar, right? And this is essentially the 4 tech pillars. So there's digital filmmaking, distribution and projection, computer-generated content, virtual production, premium large formats, PLFs, and 3D stereoscopic filmmaking, and data-driven ticketing and marketing. So this is just a tech-driven cinematic expansion. VFX is a big part of the filmmaking world. Is it my phone? No. This is the OTT expansion. How has the OTT expanded over the last few years? So it was in 1996, 30 years ago, OTT was 0. Anda. Tiny. Today, it's 30 billion. The OTT industry today is bigger than the film industry, almost. Right? And it's expected to go significantly higher. We have 1.8 billion active OTT subscriptions. This is where when I say talk about scale in India, this is what we talk about. Right? And it's been enabled by the same thing that has enabled all your businesses, all our businesses. 5G, broadband, cloud computing, digital content delivery, advanced compressions, algorithms, how we are sending data everywhere, and AI-driven recommendation engines. Right? That's how, if you watch a particular show on Netflix, you get recommendations of more shows like that. Right? If you watch murder mysteries, you'll just get murder mysteries. If you watch rom-coms, that's all you get. And then it takes a time for it to go away. Right? So, क्यों नहीं चल रहा है? हाँ. So if you just look at like an overview in the last 30 years, so 96 to 2005 was basically dial-up internet, right? Then you had 2006 to 15 where cable and fiber emergence, and now over the last 10 years we had 5G high speed. And then what has the impact been on OTT and what growth has happened? So in 96 to 2005, 100x users grew. But what started to happen was in 8 to 15, the users didn't grow up 100x, but revenue went up 500%. Because you had better quality streaming, you could charge money now. Pehle they were just viewers, not paying too much money, hardly anything. Because buffer hota tha, it was like pretty bad, really bad. Now you have massive penetration, plus you've got revenue. Oh, good. YouTube. I just put it in just for you to understand what is the sheer scale of YouTube. 500 million monthly active users. That is the population of United States and Brazil put together. Entire population of United States and Brazil. Right? We are the largest global. We're twice the US. Right? US is about 250 million. 34%, 0.1% of India's population and almost 50% of internet users use YouTube daily, every day. Almost 30 million users have been added in the past 12 months. Right? 30 million is, well, almost 1.5 times the population of Mumbai. Massive. Right? So we contribute 500 billion monthly views. We are second globally per capita. Monthly views per capita. Largest is Thailand. Thailand on an average will do 4.5 to 5 hours per person per day. That country is weird. I don't know what's going on there, right? But everybody seems to be watching YouTube. Now look at the contribution. 16,000 crores to India's GDP in just 1 year, 2024. It's paid out, it's almost a million full-time equivalent jobs, which is creators and other people. 21,000 crores have been paid out to creators for ad revenue share, right? And 65,000 Indian channels earned more than 1 lakh in 2024. 65,000 earned more than 1 lakh. Right? So when I say scale, this is really scale. This is entirely built on top of tech. Because if the Google tech, the YouTube tech wasn't that good, this would never happen. See, Google is no longer a technology company. Google is a media company. They think of themselves as a media company, they behave like a media company, they act as a media company. Everything they do is to support themselves as a media business. Okay, last bit, AI, and then I'll show you some interesting things in AI that we've done, right? So, this is the Gartner hype cycle for AI in 2025. Now this has all the tech across the board. So again, as you can see, AI agents is still obviously at the peak of inflated expectations, but you're starting to see a lot of tech now hit the slope of enlightenment to get onto the plateau of productivity. So AI is getting there. Generative AI is on its way down, obviously. The hype that was there in 2023 is now gone. The hype is now starting to settle down. People know that usse kya ho sakta hai aur kya nahi ho sakta hai. Right? So people are now approaching it with normalcy. They know what is possible, what is not possible. Right? But there are a lot of things that, like for example, Edge AI. Edge AI has gone through this very quickly. This is going to have far more impact than Gen AI is going to. Sorry, how many of you know what Edge AI is?
That was I was about to ask.
हाँ, good. हाँ, वो तो मुझे लगा था. See, what is happening is cloud compute cost is very high. And hardware on-prem, so on-premises hardware is getting better and better and better. So now you've got models and you've got agents that are sitting on the edge between premises and cloud that is actually controlling your processing. So every packet that comes for processing, it is looking at it and say, should I send it to the cloud or should I do it on-prem? And it's actually collating an allocation table where it says this task is gone to cloud, this task is gone to the local thing, right? As the tasks start to get done, it's compiling all that together and giving you the result. And so you not even know it, but your cloud costs are going down, right? So Edge AI is really going to have a lot of impact, especially for a price-sensitive country like India, where cloud costs are high. So these are really the tech that you should be looking out for, right? Let me talk about so causal AI and first principles, right? So AI is dumb. It doesn't understand real world, right? It is trained on data which is both real and fictitious. See, in an animation film, whatever, Tom and Jerry, Tom can run off a cliff, hang in the air for a second, make a face, and then fall down. Real life mein hota nahi hai. AI doesn't know the difference because it's trained on that as well. So somebody has to create rules, has to create first principles. Right? You have, and you have to kind of tell AI, okay, this is the real world, this is the virtual world. So if you're creating animated content using Gen AI, you can do that. But if you have to create live action like content using Gen AI, where a person is falling off a cliff, they can't run off there, hang in the air for a second, make a face and then fall down. That doesn't happen in live action. Right? So simple things like that. So these are huge, kind of areas of work that's happening in AI, which is benefiting everybody. Simulations, for example, if you're building simulation models using AI, deep sea drilling. AI saved so many lives in oil exploration and deep sea drilling with excellent real life simulations, because that's one of the most dangerous things that you can do. Whatever, 5 kilometers beneath the ocean's surface, right? So that is there. You have, again, if you look at AGI, so artificial general intelligence, which all of us are scared of, right? कि वो मतलब सब दुनिया will take over कर ले. अभी time है, अभी वो 10 साल बोल रहा है. And thankfully Elon is not working on AGI. He's very clear that he doesn't want to work on AGI, right? But Sam Altman is, and I'm very worried about that. But okay, whatever, that's for another day. So this gives you some sense of where the hype cycle is for artificial intelligence. Get onto the Gartner site. It's not that expensive. There is a subscription thing. It's not very expensive. And they come out with a lot of excellent tech reports across all industries, right? Not just media and entertainment.
What is that TRISM was mentioned?
TRISM, trust, risk. Sorry, somebody's calling me. What the hell? So TRISM, right? This one, right?
Yeah,
So it's trust, risk, something, security management. So it's the entire ethical, content provenance, trust, risk, identity. Trust, risk, identity, security management. Right? So you have now AI being the big brother watchdog for AI. So you can actually write you can actually have a model that's looking on top of another model saying, "Barabar kar raha hai ki nahi? Chori to nahi kar raha hai." It's not doing something that's unethical. Right? So TRISM is a big part of AI. Right? So if you look at this, it's a pretty comprehensive report. सब कुछ है. Gartner does a very good job of explaining this. Okay, now AI stack, right? So if you look at the AI stack for media and entertainment, this is your standard AI stack. So you have electricity, chips, infrastructure, data centers, models, agents or multi-agent systems, and applications. We work in this world. I mean, we don't work in this world, right? This world is for the Googles and the Amazons and all that to work, right? So as we work in this world, this is essentially what we are now starting to build. Right? And then there's a India stack, there's Sarvam, there are many others. And then there's all the Geminis and all that of the world. Right? Where you can build your own thing on top of an open source model, or you can take a existing model and just apply it. See, we've all been interacting with AI agents. We just don't know it, or we don't approach it like that. Everybody has Alexa in their house. Most people have. Most people have an Amazon account. I can tell Alexa to add coffee to my Amazon account. Alexa is listening to my voice, doing an NLP conversion, already has my authentication data. That is an agent. That agent is contacting Amazon's agent, AI agent, and saying, isko coffee chahiye. And Amazon is like, theek hai, authentication information do. So it's passing on the authentication information. Amazon agent is logging into my account, looking at my purchases and seeing which is the most coffee I have ordered. If I've ordered 100 coffees and there are 90 is one brand and 10 is something else, automatically it will add the 90. But if it's 30, 30, 30, then the question comes back to me, which coffee? Right? Now, there are rules that have been written for these two agents to interoperate, work together. So when you say that's an MAS, that's a multi-agent system. Somebody has to write the rules and you have to make sure the agents follow it. How is AI changing OTT streaming platforms? Just an example, right? क्या कर रहा है? एक छोटी सी चीज, only OTT streaming platforms में how much AI is being deployed? Significant amount. None of it is in generative AI. None of it. So generative AI is hawa right now. It's like super hype. Yes, it's important. Yes, it's very good. Yes, it will change all our lives. Not right now. Right now, businesses are here. I'll give you some examples. So if you look at AI in our industry, we've taken it and split it into 4 tiers. So there's real time, so there's news aggregation. So, okay, what I've done is I've taken 4 tiers. On top there is how much, what is the tech? Is it low tech or high tech, very high tech? And how much human input is there? And niche there is work being done and consumer expectations. And as expected, consumer expectations are inversely proportionate to work being done. जितना ज़्यादा काम हो रहा है, उतना public, उतना less people care about it. We all have news aggregation apps on our phone. All of it is AI. But none of us are engaging with the app or opening it thinking, I am dealing with AI. So cool. Nobody's thinking like that. Everybody's watching YouTube. Everybody goes to that CC button, that captioning button, and hits it like it's your birthright. Right? It's AI. Tomorrow YouTube turns around and says, yeah, okay, you want CC, pay me 10 rupees extra per month. Nobody will pay. Because even though we are engaging the most with it, we don't think of it as AI and a business model around it. Right? So that is, they are using AI just to continue doing what they're doing more efficiently. Compression, encryption, compliance, right? All these things are, a lot of these things are now AI. Tier 3 is where there is a little bit of business, thoda business model ban raha hai. Thoda, bahut kam, na ke barabar. So promos, a lot of the promos you see are AI generated for films and shows and a lot of that, right? Press kits, PR, press releases. AI is very good at press releases. Audiobooks. So India releases 3 audiobooks every day. Just one publisher, HarperCollins, releases 1 audiobook every day in India. 85-90% of audiobooks are AI. See, humans, we see better than we hear. So the uncanny valley for our sight is much more sharper than the uncanny valley for sound. We can't tell if something is AI generated, but you can look at an image and say कि दया कुछ गड़बड़ है, right? We are like that. That's biology for us. For dogs, it's ulta, right? Dogs hear much better than they see. So, hence audiobooks, audio descriptions, AI-enabled short films. Nobody I know has ever paid to watch an AI-created short film. Everybody watches it, says, "Ha, very good," and then keeps their phone aside and starts to watch whatever Tarak Mehta. Right? So, yeah, it's there. It's a nice portfolio piece. Nobody really is willing to pay for it. Paisa idhar hai. I'll show you some examples of this. Couple of them which we've built and which a partner of ours has built. Right? So let's look at visual AI for motion capture. First one. So look at this. This is the Whistling Woods Emerging Media Lab. That's Aman. He's, as you can say, he's not wearing any suits. He's not wearing any infrared markers. But this is the visual AI based markerless motion capture workflow that we built. Now, everything he's doing is being replicated almost real time here. By the time your eyes move from him to here, it's already doing what it is. It's actually a 6 frames delay, but you can't tell that it's a 6 frames delay. So normally something like this would cost you $100,000 ecosystem. Cameras, sensors, ye, wo, full GPU processing, blah, 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 blah. Our boys have built it in less than $2,000. Just by using a different ingenious workflow. So when we say we're working on applications, agents, not even models, this is just agent and application. It's not even, we have not even gone down to the model stage. We've bought an open source pose estimation database, which has many, many million poses for humans with the joint points identified. All it's doing on a frame by frame basis is comparing the visual to the pose estimation database, saying that acha ye hai, it's pulling out the joint points and sending it real time to Unreal Engine, and it's doing this. This is on demo right now at the AI Summit. Built by filmmaking kids who are, none of them who's an engineer. It's really not that hard, right? We're starting to now use this, give it out to industry, use karo, animation, vagara, vagara. So this is the kind of interesting stuff that's happening. This, serious straight 10x growth. Because normally a $100,000 system would cost you 2-3 lakh rupees a day to rent and shoot and do motion capture. We know because we also have that $100,000 system. Because we partner with those who do. So anybody, you've seen Munjia? So all the motion capture for Munjia was done by the Whistling Woods Emerging Media Lab team. And we know the tech that we used, we know the workflow that we used, and how expensive it was. We can do the same thing, this, for 1/25th the cost at 10%, right? So suddenly now there is a massive business opportunity that's opened up. So the whole point is to go to first principles and then say, "Acha, kya kar sakte hain hum isme kya? What can we do?" Yeah. So another showcase I'll give you. So yeah, like I told you, little to no training time, single 4K camera built on top of an open source pose estimation database and algorithm. Real-time output integrates with 3 of our softwares. Visual dub. This is very interesting. So this is again on, this is not us, this is a partner of ours. We work very closely with a lot of R&D people. So just listen to this.
Viewpoint बोला नंदीज के ऊपर viewpoint ही बैठा सिंहासन चले प्लान बनाने के बाद काट दे 65 किलोमीटर है नंदी प्लान बनाने से पहले नोट करो 65 किलोमीटर नंदी चलो यार मौका नहीं प्लान काटेंगे मूड देख के बनाएगा चूज को निकाल मूड चूज को नहीं इसको वाली
This is 1.5-year-old This is the first successful ad that was made using visual dub by Neural Garage, it's a Bangalore-based entirely Indian startup. They've gone down to the model level. They built their own model. So now it's an ad that's been shot in one language that you're starting to see in so many languages. Right? So this is 5x business. Straight. By one crack, right? One solution. How many of you saw the movie War 2? Okay, you have my condolences, but okay. A film was entirely shot in Hindi. But then they also wanted to release it in Telugu, but they couldn't get the actors to shoot it, obviously, again, record it. So they visual dubbed it. The entire Telugu film is visual dubbed. How many of you saw Kesari 2? Akshay Wala. All the courtroom scenes were originally shot in English. But English बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा था. So they did V-dub, they visually dubbed it into Hindi. Which is why you had all the judges and all speaking Hindi. Which is a little odd, but it worked. Right? Film is quite good. I liked it, really liked it. So this is an example of business model. You want to see another example business? ये तो नया है, चलो content है, high quality content है. What about legacy content? पुरानी हमारी फिल्में हैं, जैसे हमारी फिल्में हैं, सुभाष जी की खलनायक है, राम लखन है, हीरो है, कर्मा है. We want them to be available in multilingual. So I want Khalnayak, I want to be people to watch Khalnayak in Tamil with Sanju's voice, talking Tamil. Right? So we are now currently working with them to build that out. Because the next time when I go and do my sale for OTT or cable and satellite, I can get much more money. Right? So this is an example. इसको अभी जो मैं दिखा रहा हूँ उसको शूट मत करना. नहीं उसको मत शूट करना, मेरा थोड़ा चलेगा. अरे यार इसको क्या हुआ? हाँ. So this was a trial that we did on the latest Tom Cruise film.
Links in a chain, the work of a single organization, the syndicate. A rogue nation, trying to dope me to imbue with a new sense of purpose.
This is actually the second time even I'm seeing it, so I just hope it's timing जम जाता है. ठीक लग रहा है? It's looking okay? It doesn't look fake, right? So this is entirely being retargeted. He's not speaking Spanish. We did a Hindi one also. Wait, let me go to the Hindi one. German and
एक लगातार वर्क जो वही करते हैं जो हम करते हैं, जिनका एक नया अवसर है उस सिस्टम को खत्म करना जिसने इन्हें बनाया था, फिर चाहे रास्ते में कोई भी ना.
So this is a good example of, now I have this film in as many languages I can have. Right? So this is 100x growth, forget 10x. Easily. And you know, Tom Cruise anyway can't speak Hindi. So it is, I mean, Google is doing some work in it already as part of their AI studio and Gen Media engine. There are a couple others. Nobody does Indian languages as good. Right? So Mandar Natikar, Neural Garage, Bangalore based, fantastic, outstanding. So we've done a lot of beta work with them to, you know, for trials and testing and all that. So they do Indian languages very well. क्या हुआ? हाँ, सॉरी, तो ये AI वाला है, इसे इग्नोर करते हैं इसको. बहुत डेटा हो गया, ये चल नहीं रहा है. हाँ, now this is the very interesting last piece that I want to show you, and then we will do questions if there are any, unless I have bored you. Wait. Okay. चल नहीं रहा है. Let me plug in mine. No, it's fine. This one is not working. Something is wrong. Okay, so this is, we spoke about all the cool tech out there. The OG tech Everyone, please explain to everybody what OG means. Age. Kidding. Original great. Ask your kids, they know what OG means, right? The original great of tech is actually sitting inside our skull. This is 2 days old data. So what you're seeing is 1 cubic mm, 1 millionth of the human brain. They spent 10 years mapping it. This image took 326 days to put together. Right? So 5,000 wafers, each 30 nanometers thick, that's it. And ran it through the world's best electron microscope and then needed a Google ML model to do the 3D reconstruction because no human team could process the output. Remember, this is 1 millionth of our brain, what you're seeing. Right? This is the visual, this is the video of it. 1 millionth. $57,000 cells, 150 million synapses, 230 millimeters of blood vessels, compressed into 1.4 petabytes of raw data in 1 millionth of our brain. Right? So one neuron had 5,000 connection points. Some axons that really coiled themselves, right? So for context, 1.4 petabytes is roughly 1.4 million gigabytes, and it's from a speck that's smaller than a grain of rice of our brain. So now scale that. Full human brain is 1 million times larger, so mapping the whole thing at the resolution would produce approximately 1.4 zettabytes of data. That's 1 million petabytes. And that's roughly equal to the data generated on all of Earth for 1 year. And the storage alone would cost 50 billion and require a 140-acre data center for one person's brain. Right? So essentially, we're building AI systems that loosely mimic neural networks, but we're still unable to fully read even the wiring diagram of a single cubic mm of what we are trying to imitate. So always trust this tech. It has far more tech than anything else in the world. Far more. Right? So this brain runs on 20 watts and fits in your skull. Data center required to just describe it would span 140 acres. Right? So we know very little about. So that's it. Thank you. Questions are welcome unless I have bored everybody already. Good? बहुत dense था कि ठीक था? चलो, good. हाँ जी. Anything about media and entertainment industry, film? I don't know which actor is dating which actress. I know, but I can't tell you. Other than that, I know most things about the industry. I've been in it for 20 years.
So for all the for media industry, film industry, whatever the human resources are available, is AI going to replace it?
No. It's going to be a fantastic tool. वो हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छा नौकर बनेगा.
So like dubbing is done by AI. So voiceover was done, generally is done by all the human beings.
No, this was never happening before, right? I would need to get Hrithik to be able to talk in Telugu if I wanted him to do Telugu voice for War 2. He was never doing it, right? So it's not like किसी का काम जा रहा है. But जो वो ऋतिक की जो फिल्म है, यशराज की जो फिल्म है, now that will be able to make 3 times as much money because it is releasing as an original film in Telugu. So more people will go to watch it. It will play in more theaters rather than a dubbed one or with subtitles. That money eventually cascades down, not to talent. Maybe not this film, maybe another film. So in a year, Yashraj, instead of being able to make 10 films, will now make 15 films. So the way to think about this is what can I do with AI which I could not do before? And honestly, that is how the industry is working with it. Within the industry, there is no fear of jobs going away. There are some jobs that are going away which we want to go away. There is something called rotoscopy in visual effects. I don't know how many of you know what rotoscopy means. Right? कैसे explain करें? So, जैसे for example, अभी मैं इधर हूँ. Right? Say I am walking in front of this chair. Now in the shot, I want the chair removed. So frame by frame by frame, there is somebody who's sitting and cleaning up. Right? Especially if the camera is moving on a trolley. Right? So they're taking that much part of the earlier image and putting it on the next image. So it is gada majuri. You know, on a construction site, you have those men and women who carry the mitti in the ghamela on the head. Rotoscopy is the digital equivalent of that. No human was made to do it. But we had to do it because the technology wasn't there. Now, no human will ever do rotoscopy again. Everybody in the industry is very thrilled. Nobody is worried about that. So there are a lot of these things that will happen. In fact, I had a whole thing on job in AI, but I cut it out because बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता था time wise. So for some skill sets, AI is maintaining it. Like I showed you for captioning, it's just maintaining it. Some cases it is enhancing it, in some cases it is revolutionizing it. Right? AI is not going to take somebody's job, but a person using AI will take the job of a person not using AI. That is for sure. 100%. तो उसकी गलती नहीं है. Right? He's using whatever tools they are at his or her disposal. So honestly, everybody in the industry, at least in who I know, who are well trained, understand it, they are looking at it only as an opportunity. See, in ad films, right? Now that actor is not going to get paid extra to do that same ad in 5 voices. So in the same cost, with a little more, I can have 5 ads. So that ad agency will be able to, instead of charging money for 1 ad, they can actually charge 1.5 times and give 5 ads. So agency को ज़्यादा पैसा मिला, right? So it's that money eventually trickles down. So all that's happening is more content is being created. So unless and smart market segmentation is happening, so the efficiency of ARPU, average revenue per unit, of cross market efficiency is going up. See, my market efficiency for say Kesari, for Hindi was X. Now because, for War 2 was X. Now because War 2 is also in Telugu, earlier my Telugu efficiency would be X divided by 10. Now it's X divided by 5. Right? Because I'm able to generate that much more revenue. So that's the way to look at it. Yeah.
So with AI coming in, as you said, the cost of content has reduced.
Yes and no, but yeah, okay.
It will reduce.
It's efficiency more than cost.
It will be efficient, so more content will be
Yes.
So as consumers, how to be differentiate between good content and bad content?
You could, it's always very, very subjective. It has always been subjective.
Because earlier the quality of content.
So we don't make,
was much better.
the media and entertainment industry, we don't make anything, we don't build anything. Our products are emotions. We are selling emotions to you and asking you for your time and money. And because it's emotions, it is always very personal. Right? There is no universally good film, there is no universally bad film. There is no universally good piece of content, there is no universally bad piece of content. There's content that a lot of people like and there's content that nobody likes. But even
There's also wrong content.
no, there is nothing like wrong.
Misleading content. There is misleading.
No, misleading, that's content provenance. That's a whole other ball game, right? And there are standards that have come in. There is something called the C2PA, which is the Coalition for Content Provenance Association, which is creating worldwide standards for content provenance. So the first hardware integration for C2PA standards has happened. The new Sony camera, the Sony PXW Z300, every single frame of the Sony camera contains metadata that says that this frame was shot from this camera at this point at this location, right? So any image manipulation that you do, any video manipulation that you do will instantly show up in the metadata. So the industry will protect itself always, right? Because the last people that we want to be is blamed for misinformation, because फिर वो बंद हो जाएगा, पूरा बंद. So जो benefits है वो भी चले जाएंगे, right? So that is how it is. So yes, it's up to you to decide. Some people like AI generated content, some people don't like it, right? So it's up to you to decide. I know people, I know celebrated filmmakers who did not like the film Lagan, who themselves have made excellent cinema. What do? I know people who don't like Star Wars. Then I have to kill them. But, they exist.
Regarding I have a question. So earlier was traditional Bollywood entertainment, then OTT came. अभी हम अगर देखें कि एक तरफ deep fake है, आपका dub निकलता है ऑडियो, तो आप इसको किस तरह से देखते हैं कि एक और इंडस्ट्री डेवलप हो रही है क्या, जहाँ पे deep fake यूज करके एक जैसे मान लो मैं मिमिक कर रहा हूँ और मैं विजुअल देख रहा हूँ कि मान लो राज शमानी बोल रहा है, मैंने उसकी ऑडियो भी दे दिया, उस तरह से मैंने एक सीरीज चला दी.
करेक्ट.
तो इसको आप इस इंडस्ट्री को कैसे देखते हैं, कैसे रेगुलेट होगा, ये फ्लरिश करेगा, रेवेन्यू कैसे है, क्या है?
So the industry will step in to protect itself, right? So YouTube, for example, now has very clearly identified AI content. Instagram पे it is clearly identified. If you shoot something on my Samsung phone, if I take a photo and then using the onboard AI, if I manipulate it and I upload it on LinkedIn, standard automatically it will put that R in the top left corner, which says that this image has been reimagined, re-edited. That R is supposed to mean something. So the industry itself is protecting itself. Anything that you create using Gemini has a star at the bottom right.
But what happens
Right?
if a parallel industry?
Sorry?
Suppose my grandmother watches YouTube.
How
will she understand what is the relevance of that?
You have to educate her. Just like for UPI, चोरी हो तो होता रहेगा.
I can educate her.
हाँ.
What about a normal grandmother who doesn't have a grandchild?
So then you educate her too, or somebody will have to educate. See, there is always public communication. There will always be that twilight zone where stuff is in a grey zone. There will always be, right? But eventually it will get better. See, all your financial frauds have come down, na? First few years of UPI बहुत था, अब बहुत कम हो गया है, ना के बराबर हो गया है, right? So there will always be that phase. And the whole point is you have to, either you say that no, I don't want this, or you embrace it and move quickly through the trouble period.
Sorry to interrupt. So my question was, do you see a third industry coming?
Sorry, one sec. So let me just go back to the entire answer. Actually today, 5 different content industries exist. There is cinema, which is what you call captive community viewing. A, you have paid in advance. B, you're in a dark room. I own you for those 2 hours. Very few people will get up and walk out. The film has to be really bad for you to get up and walk out, right? Even if 5% of the audience laughs, that transference happens and you think, हाँ ठीक है, funny picture है, right? Or whatever. So captive community viewing. Television is what you call non-captive family viewing. 95% of India is a single TV owning household. So everybody is watching the same thing. So the kind of content that comes on TV comes because everybody is watching it together. And different people are watching it at different times sometimes. Then you come to digital content. Now digital content, let me take a couple of seconds on TV, right? Because this is very important. So I don't think you may watch it regularly, but at some point everybody's seen daily soaps, right? Whatever, Saas Bahu, all that other stuff. In a 30-minute episode, 8 minutes is ads. 22 minutes is the show. Actual content is only 12 minutes, 12 to 14 minutes. The rest is all camera giri and all that, reaction shots and all that. Why is it like that? Ekta Kapoor is not dumb. Ekta Kapoor is one of the smartest people I have ever met. right? And I'm not just saying that because she's a senior from school. She's genuinely brilliant. Her ability to have pulse on the country is fantastic. How has she been doing this for 25, 30 years? Why? क्या हो रहा है ना, in that half an hour at home, food is being made, food is being served, somebody is having a drink, somebody is asking for, arey, pani, soda, ice. Some two kids are fighting, somebody has broken someone's head, doorbell is rung, Amazon is asking for OTP. All this is happening while the content is playing out. So at some point, somebody from the family is not sitting in front of the TV. The first thing they do when they come back and sit in front of the TV is ask, kya hua? Person sitting next to them should be able to tell in 30 seconds kya hua without missing out on kya ho raha hai. It is super critical, right? That is why the daily soaps are the way they are, which is why they've been the same way for 35 years, 92 they started. So, TV, non-captive family viewing. Third is digital. Now, digital is the first content consumption medium where you are not being judged for what you watch. आप अगर जैसे if I go with my kids for a movie और उसमें एक थोड़ा little bit naughty sex type scene होगा, you feel a little bit odd, right? It's just natural. Digital में वो नहीं होता because you're not being judged for what you watch because it's individual viewing. See, everybody has a public life, a private life and a secret life. Your digital content consumption is part of your secret life. So, I don't know how many of you use Spotify. If you have a Spotify, you make a playlist on say Ajay Atul or Arijit or whatever, you will share it with a friend. कि अच्छा मैंने playlist बनाया. You will not share your Netflix account with a friend. Why? Because it's part of your secret life. So, digital content, because you're not being judged, which is why you happily expand the spectrum of the kind of content you consume. You're like, इसको भी try करते हैं, इसको भी try करते हैं, इसको भी try करते हैं, which is why all kinds of content gets created. So the OTT industry's principle for content is very different from the cinema industry and the TV industry. Digital industry, non-OTT, is still split into two parts. So one is creator economy, which is YouTube, where the product is the person. You are watching it for the person. Right? They are not playing a part. They are not acting. They are themselves. And that creator, you are essentially authentically appreciating their individuality. That is the creator economy. And now you have what is called the attention economy, which is the vertical video market, where the only goal is to grab attention, no matter what you do. So, which is your reels, your YouTube shorts, your vertical videos, your micro dramas, all that crap. Right? Where the goal is just, I have to hold your attention. Now, they're still trying to figure out that after holding your attention, how they're going to monetize that. But at least the goal is to hold attention. So, if it means I will show one fight, if it means I will show one, half-naked man or a half-naked woman, so be it. Right? So, in each of these, the usage of AI is different. और कहीं पे पकड़ा जाएगा, कहीं पे ना पकड़ा जाएगा. So, vertical video में बहुत AI यूज हो रहा है. Nobody cares. Because हम उसको, जो व्यूअर है, उसको वैल्यू नहीं समझ रहा है, वो तो स्क्रॉल कर रहा है फटाफट फटाफट फटाफट. ठीक है, आया देखा गया, right? So, it's up to the creator and the viewer how they treat it. Because all of this data is being generated at the back end. So, if we as viewers don't bother to consume AI generated content, automatically less content will start to be created. Because the back end data में some CEO will say, यार को तो देख नहीं रहा है, क्यों बना रहे हो, क्यों यूज कर रहे हो, live action shoot करो. So this is how the cascade happens of tech, and it's always happened like that, right?
The last quick question.
Yeah, last question.
Sir, how soon as a business owner will be able to use this technology in advertising,
Today.
advertising, but economically viable?
Today,
So the business
I'll show you something. Wait.
अभी हम लोग कितना बजट में कर सकते हैं हमारे एक को मराठी और
I'll put you in touch with Mandar.
yeah.
right? So for, I think, his cost is not very expensive. I'll put you in touch with him. So let me show you an ad that we did. Yeah.
हर शहर की है कुछ तकलीफें, कुछ सलाह, कुछ उम्मीदें, जिन्हें अब वो भूलेगा और अपनी तरक्की के रास्ते खोलेगा। क्योंकि आपका भरोसेमंद हिंदुस्तान आया है हर शहर के लिए उसका अपना एक खास पेज, जो बनेगा शहर के हर शख्स, हर मुद्दे की आवाज। अब बोलेगा हिंदुस्तान, सुनेगी सरकार। हिंदुस्तान, भरोसा नए हिंदुस्तान का।
So, as a business owner, this would have normally cost you 1 CR to make. With AI, you can do this in 10 lakhs. Today. This ad was made in October 2024. So, a year and a half ago. It's here. You just need to know the right people to talk. अभी क्या है, initial में ना सब लोग एक दूसरे का उल्लू बनाते हैं. तो बहुत लोग आएंगे बोले सर मैं AI में बना रहा हूँ, ज़्यादा पैसे दो. Don't do that. Right? So. Thank you so much
for the great session. Your time was truly invaluable. As a moderator, I took liberty to present a small token of love and appreciation, a small memento.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Nice. Sweet. Arey, wow. क्या बात है. Thank you so much. Thank you.